sea, moist influenced cross-border elements, disaster surveillance or disaster vulnerability, right? So Surya current directly target these all. Just wait a guys. आवाज आ रही है? खोल दिया Okay, students. Sorry for the inconvenience. So we cover all the challenges, right? Surya Commission is about. Now the HADR. What is HADR? Humanitarian Assistance, Disaster Relief School Operations, right? So in that sector, we directly tackle the India's and Nepal's relations. How? India helps Nepal in 2015 earthquake, first of all. Right? There are 16 NDRF teams, near about 23,000 people evacuated, right? And some 7,000 crores plus reconstruction support. So this is the figure, right? Around approx figure, okay? And India also support in COVID-19 also, vaccine method roles, medical oxygen supply. So Surikaran makes joint disaster response more fluid, more frequent. Okay. Another point is what people to people tie. People to people tie. Near about 30,000 Nepalis Gorkha serves in the Indian Army. Deep military cultural ties, right? This all support or this all build a long-term trust. That's why this exercise is more important for us, like location, the training, technology and accreditations, reflects of the 18 foundations things. I already said the significance of that is. Now the geopolitical and strategic dimensions, which is directly connected to your GS2 plus IR also, and it is also a part of GS2, right? So in IR, you are directly connected to the first point. What is Himalayan stability? Both the armies coordinate better for high altitude patrols, border surveillance, right? Disaster response. So these are the main point in this thing, strengthening stability in the Himalayan region. Next thing is balancing external influences like China angle. Okay? Now, China influence in Nepal has increased via BRI projects, defense exchange, political connections. So, Surya Kiran solidifies India's traditional defense role and prevent vacuum creations over there. Okay. The third point, which is India's neighbor first policy, very much important for us because the military diplomacy with the neighbors with ensures what stable borders, reduce external interference, strategic depth in the Himalayas. So these are the factors. That's why we support the and we follow the policy of first neighborhood policy, right? Another point, regional crisis response. What are the regional crises that are joined in this segment? Both operations are crucial due to earthquake, landslides, cloudburst, cross-border crime. That's why we need a regional crisis response. These are the main crises. Right? Another point, reinforcing institutional and social links. Military goodwill reduce chances of political miscommunications or strategic drifts. So it is a good segment or a good win-win situation for us also and for betterment of our relations with the Nepal. Right? So these whole points stands for these things. Now this is a conclusion for this topic, and this is a question for prelims question with reference to the India's Nepal joint military exercise. So regulation consider the following activities conducted annually and alternate between India and Nepal. The exercise focused primarily on naval operations and maritime surveillance. Maritime surveillance. It aimed to enhance interoperability in mountain warfare and counterterrorism. Sahi hai. So what is the options? 1 and 3. Why 2 is not? Because maritime surveillance is not a part of India's Nepal joint military exercise. Right? Chaliye. So please note down this question for your 15 marker, and then we go to our next topic. Okay, so then chaliye next topic पे चले. Right. So the next topic is rewiring India's power sector by Electricity Amendment Bill 2025. Okay. So the Electricity Amendment Bill, which modernized India's power sector for competitions, accountability, and consumer rights. Now, why this topic is matter for the UPSC? Because the Electricity Amendment Bill 2025 is one of the biggest power sector reform since the Electricity Act when 2003. It aims to transform the distribution from a monopoly-based system, right, to a competitive and consumer-centric level or a consumer-centric model. सही है ना? So this is the main objective. And how you relate this topic with your mains paper? Like GS2, where we directly connected with the center-state relationships. federalism, in energy governance, regulatory bodies, है ना? तो ये सब चीजें कनेक्ट करेगी डायरेक्ट. GST also, infrastructure, energy security, Indian economy and industries competitiveness. And then this is a hot topic. Why? Because it is also relevant to the current affairs. जैसा आपने इस बार के प्रीलिम्स क्वेश्चंस भी देखा था, डायरेक्टली स्कीम बेस्ड क्वेश्चन पूछा था, पीएम उज्ज्वला, है ना? So UPSC now targets the amendment bills or like scheme based questions. And why it is important? Because it is directly connected to your economy part also, like discom sector, cross subsidy distortions, industrial competitiveness. है ना? That's why this is very important. So now let's discuss the background. Why was the bill is necessary? Okay. So why in the news? So why this is or why was this bill is necessary? Because India's electricity sector, or specifically the distribution segment, like discoms. You know, I heard about this discoms. So this discom has solved chronic problems, so much issues. Like first point, massive financial distress. ऐसे ही नहीं है, because total from 2017 to 2022 there is a 5.27 lakhs crore, which is total loss is around 5.27 lakh crores. So बहुत बड़ा लॉस है ना? Delayed payment of generators, peak supply chain automatically. Because if there's a weak or delayed payment payment to generator is equal to weak supply. पैसे नहीं देंगे supply कहाँ से आएगी, है ना? This is the main problem. Then monopoly based supply. What is like consumer specifically जैसे industrial area side में, तो consumer have no chronic experts in the state discom. This has caused low service quality, inefficiency, and high power tariffs. Next, what is? बोलो बोलो बोलो. सही है. Next, another point. Next point. What is high cross subsidization? Like industry or commercial customers, subsidies agriculture and householders. ठीक है? Industrial and consumers subsidize this agriculture or households. This has increased manufacturing cost. पहली चीज. Second, reduce global competitiveness. Right? Another point, discourage energy incentives industries. Promote captive plants and increase pollutions. These are the major issues. Another point, what is outdated infrastructure? Now outdated infrastructure is like overload feeders, weak distribution networks, poor metering and billings. Another, the gap between cost and tariffs. Tariffs under recovery is a long standing issue due to political pressures. सभी को पता है. So this bill, this amendment bill, tries to fix all these structural problems. Okay, that's why this is very much important. Okay, now this model or ISTS, you know ISTS, interstate transmission system. So the ISTS model, the interstate transmission was is a success story used as a template for this topic. How? The ISTS model, interstate transmission system, is one of the most efficient power system globally. Why? The key features of this what? Let me connect this with like first point, shared national transmission grids. पहली चीज हो गई. दूसरा हो गया पीपी मॉड्यूल एरा, पब्लिक प्राइवेट प्लेयर्स compete to build assets, है ना. Next is CERC, ensure transparent regulations. Tariff tariff pooling, ensure fair revenue distributions. Next point is rapid expansion of national grids, predictable cost recovery. So all these points or all these features of interstate transmission system will impact like reduce of cost of transmissions, faster project completions, standardized infrastructure, ठीक है? Enable large scale renewable energy integrations. So this bill tries to replicate the interstate transmission system successful in the distribution sector also. Right? Now let's talk about the core pillar of this bill. But firstly, I show you all this. This is the main powered into the Viksit Bharat objective vision: strengthening financial disciplines and accountability, optimizing distribution network utilization, strengthening the uninterrupted, efficient, and transparent services, ensuring and protecting interest of the farmers and other consumers. Right. So these are the main predicting the current push behind electricity amendments bill. The key issue and the reviving states. What are the core pillar for this? Is first of all structural reforms. Why structural reforms? What is the objective behind this? जैसा पॉइंट बताया था मैंने आपको, डिस्कस किया था ना, फ्रॉम मोनोपोली टू competitive market, right? So from monopoly to competitive market, competitive distributions, right? So in that we can say about the multiple licensing allow in one area, which give fair competitions, right? Shared infrastructures, common network, as we all know about this. Universal service obligation, USO, for all licenses. How we connect with this whole topic with UPSC? It enhance consumer choice. Okay. It strengthen the efficiency and accountability. Introducing the performance-based supplies. So these all segments are help or that impact, and that's why this is all is relevant in your UPSC CSE examinations. Second point, second core pillar. What is that? Tariffs and cross subsidies. rationalizations, right? What is in this tariffs and cross subsidies rationalizations, tariffs must reflect cost. Subsidies for farmers, poor householder continue via Section 65 of this Act. Third thing, cross subsidy elimination in industries within last 5 years or within 5 years. I don't not remember the last 5 years data, but I know about this thing. कि हाँ कैसा क्या हुआ था क्या नहीं हुआ. Which impact how, like when industries power become cheaper is equal to boost manufacturing. सीधा सीधा है. Next on fiscal transparency in subsidies, reduce burden on industries. ये डायरेक्टली कहीं ना कहीं आपसे कनेक्ट नहीं करेगा. मेक इन इंडिया में, इंडियन इकोनॉमी, MSME competitiveness. So that's why this topic is more important for us. Structural reforms, right? Now, the third one is infrastructure and network efficiency. What is in that? SERCs regulate billing charges. What are those billing charges? What are these billing charges? मुझे नहीं पता. Billing charges are like billing charges are the free paid for using electricity grids, right? Transmission distribution network to carry electricity from one to another point. Like example, in a private solar plant in Madhya Pradesh, okay, want to sell electricity to an industries in Indore. They use using the state distribution network. It must pay the billing charges for the distribution or transmission utilities. So that is the billing. It is similar to like to paying a toll tax for using highways, right? And what is SERC? SERC? State Electricity Regulatory Commissions. लिखा होगा कहीं ना कहीं SERC. ये बिलिंग चार्जेस का तो दिख रहा है. ठीक है. क्या करती है? It's a independent regulator for the electricity sector at a state level. नाम से समझ में आ रहा है. समझे? हाँ. Now इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर हो गया. तो ऐसे से नहीं इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर हो गया. तो ये SERC रेगुलेटरी बिलिंग चार्जेस prevent network duplications, legal recognition to energy storage system. So role clarity for storage in grid management. समझ रहे हो? तो ये कहीं ना कहीं आपके एनर्जी सेक्टर को डायरेक्टली कहीं ना कहीं कनेक्ट कर रही है ना? Next point is like governance and regulatories. Yes, SERC आ गया. State Electricity Regulatory Commissions. What is that? And what is the key provision in that? Creation of electricity councils for central state coordination. SERCs like strong power to SERC state level में दे दो governance और उसके लिए. SERCs can initiate suo motu tariffs determinations. है ना? Penal power for non-compliances. So these are the provisions in your governance and regulatory strengthenance. Next, sustainability and power market development. What are the provisions in that? Penalties for failing renewable purchases obligations. What are the sustainable market obligations for penalties for non-compliances, right? Market development of electricity trading. समझ में? Next is new financial infrastructure for energy. So it directly connected to your Paris Agreement commitments, green energy transitions, deepening of power markets. So these all are the key provisions. Next is legal and operational clarities. Up in this legal and operational clarity, we can directly connect it to the update in statutory reforms like Companies Act 2013. Electric Line Authority created. Similar power as Telegraph Authorities 1885 Act. Compensation and land use clarities. We're directly connected to your infrastructural development, land acquisition challenges. Okay. So these whole are the main points. Now, there's some challenges, right? So let's talk about the challenges. Right, like a critical analysis. पहले चीज state oppositions. State oppose करेगी. So state oppositions like electricity is a concurrent list subject. So state fears about what? Loss of political control, reduced revenue, competition to state discoms. So this is a challenge for state. Right. Next, implementation issues like multiple suppliers. Multiple suppliers may lead to coordination challenges. Billing and metering reforms needed. Avoid network cognitions. So these are the implement challenges. Now that protecting farmer challenges, like through subsidy remains, state must budget them clarities. Budget ही नहीं पैसा इधर दे देंगे हम सारा तो. Need for cyber securities. Digital power system are vulnerable to hacking. So these all are challenges. Sorry. So these all are the challenges, and this topic is directly connected to your GS2, GS3 and economic or environmental perspective also. Okay. So please read about this whole article and the conclusion. This is all about this article. The conclusion is for the Electricity Amendment Bill 2025 introduced key reforms to modernize India's power sector. It promotes competitions in distribution, strengthening regulatory oversights and support fair price mechanism. The bill safeguards subsidies for vulnerable consumers while enabling direct power access for industries. Together, these measures aim to build a more efficient, accountable, and future-ready electricity system aligned with national development priorities. So now, let's talk about interstate transmission system (ISTS). Both public and private transmission service provider TSPs can contribute in the ISTS development. ISTS charge pooled and redistributes among TSPs based on assets performance. ISTS is regulated by the State Electricity Regulations Commission 1 and 2, 2 and 3, 1, 2, 1, 3 and 1, 2, 3. So ISTS interstate. So why State Electricity Regulations Commission depend? Because it is a level and it is interstate. इंटरस्टेट, तो आप एक चीज यही नोटिस कर सकते हैं, क्वेश्चन डिमांड्स फॉर द इंटरस्टेट एंड वी आर स्टेट, ये मैच ही नहीं कर रहा कहीं से कहीं, तो ये तो गलत ही हो गया। अब तीसरा गलत हुआ तो ये गलत, ये गलत, ये गलत, ये सही हो गया। दिस इज हाउ Crips knowledge or connection will correct your question in prelims examinations. Now, the main question for you, 15 marker. So write down and do the answer writing for this question. The Electricity Amendment Bill 2025 marks a decisive transitions from monopoly to regulated competitions in India's power distribution sector. Okay. Now discuss how the bill aims to reform distributions, rationalize tariffs, and strengthening consumer rights. Okay, so write answer for it is a 250 in 250 words for a 15 mark question, and that's all in today's lecture. So thank you and have a nice day, students, and all the best for your examinations. UPSC conduct EPFO, so EPFO is on 30th of this November. So all the best for all the students and do how hard works, and may success will bring some good news for you. Okay, chaliye, bye bye. Thank you so much.